Good morning, everybody. It is 5:45 in the morning. Unfortunately, I've been waking up before my 6 a.m. alarm every day, or mostly every day, because of this loud car that really likes to just rev its engine in the parking lot, which is super neat and cool. So thank you for that. But anyways, I'm brushing my teeth in the morning, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just do my hair just so it's out of my face. I just tie it in like a pony with braids. And then I am going to go ahead and start my studying or just doing any sort of work that I need to do, whether it be personal or residency. Right now I'm studying for CPGY, which I don't even honestly know if I'll be able to take the exam. I've been having a lot of issues with getting my application in. But anyways, I'm still studying. If I end up not being able to take it, then oh well, I studied for nothing, but that's okay. And then anyways, around 7 a.m.-ish, I start to get pretty hungry, so I decide to eat some breakfast, which today I'm just having some yogurt and granola, which I don't want to eat too much in the morning because I do eat lunch and dinner pretty early while on this rotation, as I'll explain later. So I just have a pretty small breakfast. And then I just take my yogurt to my desk and I'm going to eat it while I continue to study and do more work. And then a little while later, you can see on the clock, it's like 8:30 almost. I am washing and cutting up some strawberries, which part of it will be for my lunch and part of it will be for me to eat now. And then I am also doing the same, but with some grapes. So I went ahead and just packed my lunch, but also ate that as well, which was really delicious. Now it's time for me to put on my scrubs. So I just went ahead and got dressed. Look, that was so simple. It's pretty simple in real life, but it's not that instantaneous. And then I grab out my lunch that I meal prepped, which I just cooked it over the weekend. So I just put that in my lunch. I put up some other snacks to have in my lunch as well. And then made sure to bring a spoon. That's pretty important. Don't want to forget that. I mean, if I do, I can just go down to the cafeteria. It's fine. But I try not to forget my spoon. And then once I have my lunch and I fill up my water bottle, then it's time for me to leave. So this rotation starts at 10 a.m., which the past couple of days I've been getting there fairly early to do some more work, some more projects from residency that I've been working on. So I'm leaving a little early, but here I am in the car and I'm driving to work. And then I got there around 9 today. It just kind of depends day to day when I get there, but I had like about an hour to work on my projects in the morning before I start rotation at 10. So I just went ahead and put my lunch in the fridge. I went into the residence office, which look at my desk. It's so cute. It has my name on it. Anyways, here's me working on my projects. So I'm just doing that in the morning. And then when it's around 9:55, so right before 10, I go ahead and head up to the floor that I'll be working on. So as I mentioned, it's Gen Med, which today was a little bit different than usual actually, because we did have a trauma code in the morning. A patient was rushed into the ER with a gunshot wound. So I actually got to kind of shadow that and watch that, which was really my first trauma code that I've ever seen before. So that was an interesting experience. But for trauma codes, pharmacy doesn't have the hugest role in it. It's more so for like cardiac codes where there's a little bit more meds involved. Trauma is a little bit more like blood products and stuff like that. But it was still fun to watch, or not fun, but it was still interesting to watch nevertheless. I still learned a lot. And after that, I went back to the floor where my actual rotation is. I dosed a couple of vancomycins, I did a TPN, and then I went to lunch. So lunch happens around noon-ish. The earliest I've started on this rotation was like 12, and then the latest was like 1:30, but generally it's around noonish. So for these days, I have 2 lunches because of just the time of the shift. The first lunch, I go to the cafeteria. I saw the hot entree and it was like Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving food, so I bought that. My total was $6.24 with my employee discount, which is actually pretty good. But then after my 30-minute lunch, it was time to head back and work on the floor again. So after lunch, I dosed a warfarin. We used to have 2 patients, but now we only have 1. The other one discharged. And then I just worked on other informal consults throughout the rest of the day, answered any questions that came up from nurses and providers throughout the day. Basically, we would log into the floors that we're working, and then therefore, like the nurses or providers or anyone could just message that floor, and then us as the pharmacist would be able to reply to that message because we're logged into that floor, if that makes sense. Anyways, we have a huddle at 3 p.m. on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Today is Tuesday, so we had huddle at 3 p.m. and then just continued working on those informal consults until it was time for dinner, which this second meal here generally starts around 5 p.m. So I headed back to the pharmacy and then grabbed my dinner out of the fridge, heated it up, and then sat down and ate it. And then afterwards, after dinner ends at 5:30-ish, we go back to the central pharmacy and work from there instead of working on the floor. So 5:30 p.m. is when our, I guess I can call it like sister hospital, the same hospital but in a different location, closes for the night. Or pharmacy leaves at least. So we cover them, and we also cover like other floors as well as part of our job at 5:30. So we log into like the night-wide coverage and then also like central pharmacy, so we can kind of get an idea of what's going on around the entirety of pharmacy basically, since there are less people working, so we have to cover those shifts. But pretty much we just finished off with those informal consults for the rest of the day, or any formal consults that arised, such as new Vanco dosing or checking the troughs of Vancos for like patients of other floors, just basically helping out with that. And then I end my shift at 8:30 p.m. because I start at 10. They are 10-hour shifts. So 8:30 p.m. I left the pharmacy and I walked back to my car. Look at the sunset. It's so pretty. That's one of the nice things about driving home. I get to see the sunset every day when I drive, which is really nice. But it also is kind of sad because I drive back and it's like dark. Like you can barely see me here because it's just dark outside. Which I don't really like that much because I feel like I just basically go home and sleep. But anyways, I made it back to my apartment. I'm going back in, and now I am washing my hands because hospitals. So I washed my hands, and then I went ahead and grabbed some dessert, which actually I usually don't do. This is kind of out of the ordinary for me. It's because I had cobbler in the fridge already, but honestly, normally I don't really eat dessert after this rotation since it's so late, but I wanted some tonight since I had it. So I went ahead and put a piece in the bowl, heated it up in the microwave, and then got out some vanilla ice cream, which I was kind of running low, but it's okay. I made do with what I had. So I went ahead and took that to my desk, just texted my friends, relaxed for a bit, and then took a shower. I used this CeraVe moisturizing facial lotion afterwards, which is pretty nice. It's really lightweight. And then I brushed my teeth, and then I went to bed at 10:14 p.m. Generally, I go to bed around like 10:30-ish, which actually gives me like a lot of sleep, but I've been really tired recently, so kind of needed it. But anyways, that concludes the day in my life as a PGY1 resident in my Gen Med rotation. It's my very first rotation, which is super exciting. For the most of this rotation, I have not been a licensed pharmacist, so what I've been able to do is more limited compared to what I will be able to do in future rotations. I, of course, had to get all of my notes and stuff co-signed by my preceptors since I was not a licensed pharmacist at the time. So I guess we'll see where my future rotations take me. I'm very excited. I feel like it went by super fast, but stay tuned. I will be posting a whole entire year's worth of day in the life of a PGY1 resident. So that'll be really exciting. Lots of different rotations. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you back again next Sunday for another video. Bye.